Hello, my name is Brennan, and today I will be demonstrating how to perform a Pendlay row. Unfortunately, I do not have access to a gym, so I'm having to make do with the equipment I have at home, which is this walking staff. A Pendlay row is a variation of the traditional barbell row that is more similar to a deadlift. It's kind of like a mix between the two. You might not have heard of it before. The way this exercise is performed is by standing as if you were going to perform a traditional deadlift, and then roughly halfway through the movement, you simply row the barbell up to your abdomen, and then rather than holding the barbell in the air and allowing your finish point to be about here, you with the tension still being on you because you haven't released the barbell yet, you are going to bring the barbell all the way to the ground, just as you would in a deadlift, to where there is no tension on the barbell between each rep. This really aids in building explosive power because you have no tension on your body and you have to generate all of the force between each rep. Whereas with a traditional barbell row, sometimes you can use momentum as you throw the barbell up to here and you catch it at the bottom. You can kind of use the elastic tension in the muscles to help you get some leverage out of the bottom of the lift. This is not possible in a Pendlay row because of the nature of allowing the barbell to rest completely at the end of each rep. So the way that we would perform this would be very similar to a deadlift. We would begin our setup in a traditional conventional stance, which will be with the knees inside of the hands. We'll also utilize a double overhand grip with this. You will have the barbell set up slightly in front of where you would for a deadlift, simply because of the explosive nature of the rowing, and you might need to clear your knees depending on your leverages and body measurements. If your knees tend to stick out further whenever over the barbell, whenever you get into your deadlift position, you may need to have it out slightly more. Ideally though, you would have the same stance you would as a deadlift. As you begin to lift the barbell up, you will give it a slight bend in the knees. You try to maintain your back as stiff as possible throughout the movement. There are different variations of a barbell row. Some of them require you to be fully bent over rowing. Some of them are a bit in between. Sometimes people basically stand up and row. For a Pendlay row, you want to mostly maintain the same posture you would when deadlifting, which is traditionally going to be closer to parallel with the ground, a very, very horizontal back posture. It should look something like this. And so as you begin to lift the barbell up, you will rise with it and then row it right here, about where your belly button is and your abdomen. And then you will slowly, in a controlled manner, allow the barbell to come back down, and you place it on the ground again. You want to not let go of the barbell and not just drop it between each rep, but you do want to make sure that you are allowing it to reset just as you would in between each rep of a deadlift, to make sure that you are allowing yourself to get the full potential and not allow any of the bounce from each rep or the elastic effect of your muscles to give you any aid in the reps following. This is to allow for maximal power output. So you would allow it to rest, bring it back up, pause for just half a second, and then control it, let it rest again, back up, and go back down. And that is how you will perform a Pendlay row, a variation of the traditional barbell row.